Rosina Sedibani Modiba School at the Netball Girls Trials. The netball courts are of high standard and quality, which is how the We are here at Winnie Mandela Secondary School in Tembisa, Johannesburg. With all factors considered, young girls who fall pregnant risk their chances of survival. Teenage pregnancy in Kenya has been decreasing as more and more teenagers receive education. Welcome to Young Buzz, where we delve into the issues and challenges young people across the BRICS Plus world are facing today. I am Yolanda Pondo. In today's show, we celebrate the enthusiasm and innovative spirit young people are displaying in overcoming unacceptably high unemployment rates across the BRICS Plus world. We start in South Africa, where the labour market is an extremely challenging landscape and is expected to become even more so in the coming years.
We are sending a message.
Lack of opportunity is a reality for many graduates and non-graduates alike. But this has not stopped some entrepreneurial youngsters from using their skills to create an income for themselves and their families. Alexis Sissamides is a digital marketer and makeup artist who, by combining these two skills, has found a way to use her talents to make a living.
I have been on the hustle since I was about 20. I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do with my life. So I took a page out of my dad's book and I started, doing things on my own. It started with makeup, into studying online and doing marketing as well. My dad has always been an entrepreneur since he left school, so I learned with my eyes. I just watched him throughout the years, attended some meetings with him, and that's where I learned. I discovered that I wanted to do digital marketing because I started content creating on Instagram, doing makeup tutorials, and I really enjoyed social media and wanted to know a bit more how it works and how to build brand awareness and build businesses, because I've also always wanted to be a brand owner. So I thought if I had that skill, I could use it in my own life.
I start with primer. The reason we need to start with the primer is because it creates an even surface for your foundation. Also helps your foundation last all day.
Keep learning and stay with the trends, because social media is changing every single day. Makeup trends are changing every single day. Just keep learning.
We travel now to Brazil, a BRICS Plus country where more and more young entrepreneurs are building their careers through the internet.
Heloísa Passos always had the entrepreneurial bug as she grew up watching her mom work in commerce. Yet, she did try a corporate career before starting the journey that led her to Trex.
Trex is a platform for the management and liquidity of gaming and digital assets. And so the idea is for us to onboard people by bringing it to Web 3, but with a very Web 2 look, and enabling this financial access through games.
She became more familiar with blockchain technology. In simple terms, blockchain is a shared, unchangeable ledger that simplifies recording transactions and tracking assets in a business network.
When we think about the future, I like sci-fi a lot. I'm very geeky. I think there must be a Master Yoda somewhere. I like Star Trek a lot too, so I've always seen how the future could help people in the present. So how could we build the present and change the future? I think that's what ended up having a bit of an impact. I think that's also why I like blockchain so much. Thinking about financial access and something so intangible, because blockchain is totally intangible and it's very fascinating to me.
That's when Heloísa Passos took her first steps to starting her business. She delved deeper into studying blockchain and observed its increasing influence on the world. cryptocurrency was also beginning to see its first boom. The so-called third phase of the internet, the Web 3, was now a reality. Many industries were adopting blockchain, NFTs, and AI, such as the food industry, the health industry, logistics, and, of course, entertainment. Now, Web3 is a common term even for governments who are starting to launch their own cryptocurrencies. Young professionals like Passos, who are seeking a brighter future for themselves, may well find it in the future of the internet. They are bringing Web3 technology to society, and in return, society is gifting them with opportunities. Passos founded Trex as a gaming company before realizing that gaming was just a means to a much broader end. In this case, the company offers services for gamers and investors to monetize their gaming activities efficiently. But they also have their own game called Boomboogers.
Então, no começo, a Trex era só...
So in the beginning, Trex was just a game developer, until we understood how we could develop tools to encompass the studios, encompass the companies within the ecosystem, and especially the users. Especially what would be our B2C market. So Boomboogers ends up being very much our user acquisition for the whole ecosystem, and we created a more shared network effect.
Efeito de rede mais compartilhado.
Millennials can't talk about the future without mentioning the upcoming generation starting their careers. Gen Z, who are people born after 1995, is also the first generation that's growing up with technology already fully entrenched in society.
Quando a gente está falando muito de blockchain...
I think that when we think that the social network has come to extend people's reach, Web3, blockchain, has come to help that reach really become something more tangible. So it's a lot like we see today. Gen Z and the alphas that are coming up, the new generations, they're already thinking about how can I have a better quality of life? And how can entrepreneurs give me that? I think the concept of entrepreneurship in the minds of younger people is the concept of freedom. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they want to be entrepreneurs because they have dreams, but it's much more about the idea of freedom. So while I think it's a very creative generation, it's not very resilient. And perhaps this resilience will only be proven in the next few years, especially with the change in the climate crisis, with the ESG agendas that will need to change financial access.
A palavra-chave quando a gente pensa no mercado.
All of us hope for improved financial access for future generations, along with a wise and conscious use of web technology. And we rely on individuals like Heloísa Passos to assist with these processes. Chris Goldenbaum, BGTN, São Paulo, Brazil.
A new wave of young entrepreneurs is emerging in China's entertainment industry. These young visionaries are shaping their futures by redefining their artistic talents, bringing a unique blend of entrepreneurial spirit and creative vision. Wu Ting, a 27-year-old from northern China, quit her white-collar job in Beijing this year to move to subtropical Hengdian, home to major movie studios and casting agencies. Wu is part of a trend of young Chinese giving up the traditional aspiration of a stable mainstream job in exchange for alternative careers and a chance at self-fulfillment. She has dreamed of becoming an actor since childhood, an ambition initially squashed by pragmatic adults around her.
我不知道前面那些人对工作的概念是什么，我对工作的概念就是一份工作，就是 我工作嘛，我觉得就是可以填充自己空余的时间，然后开心最重要。
In Hengdian, Guo prepared for an audition with meticulous multi-step skincare routine in the apartment she shares with other film industry hopefuls. Getting ready to play a corporate character working at a fictional firm, she rummaged through her wardrobe for an outfit similar to those she wore for her office job. The casting agent's office was next door to a community space run by an actors' union where dozens of people sat waiting for auditions and job interviews.
上班就是每个月都有稳定的收入，不用担心没有钱花。其实我来横店也是带了一些自己的积蓄，我压力也不是特别大。如果说是没有带积蓄的话，我觉得就是可能会有一点压力的，因为拍戏的话，刚开始就不是说你想拍就拍，选择权在别人手里。
Many young people are still struggling to find employment. As youth unemployment rises, young people are creating their own way forward. And while going to an office may be the norm for urban middle-class youth, for large parts of the country, desk jobs are a rare opportunity. For Wu Young, a 20-year-old middle school graduate living in global trading hub Yiwu, the small fluorescent lit office where he helps run an e-commerce business is a novelty. In his hometown in central China's Henan province, Wu Young, who asked to be identified by a nickname over privacy concerns, did everything. He was put off by the lack of opportunities in his hometown, choosing instead to move to Yiwu and help run an e-commerce business.
从毕业以后出来就是天天就当服务员，乱七八糟的，也就是上班嘛，就是混日子的感觉。义乌创业的氛围是非常浓厚的，对，环境就是为什么来义乌，义乌的大环境它很重要，大部分来都是想创业，都是想做电商的，每天大家在一起聊的只有赚钱，只有做电商，只有怎么去出单，怎么去运营。
Through his ability to use his potential, Wu Young has learned valuable skills in the field of e-commerce. For Wu Young, this landscape offered a unique blend of challenges and opportunities where he could turn his vision into reality. More and more young people are choosing to start their own businesses, and there are many international organizations that offer assistance. Today I'm joined by Jamie Thurston, SA-teen entrepreneur.
It doesn't mean that you must start your own business when you learn to become an entrepreneur, but it's about being able to think like an entrepreneur, being able to look at problems and figure out, not that you must say someone else has to solve this, but realize that this is an opportunity for me where I can solve this. And I think that's the basic philosophy of all business. If you have a problem that you can solve, it's most likely that other people might have the same problem and they could even pay you to solve that problem. If more people get into starting businesses and being able to be successful at starting businesses, you're able to employ more people. Because I don't feel like the unemployment rate, this high youth unemployment rate in South Africa is going to be solved because government must give us jobs. Where are the jobs going to come from? You can't just make a job out of nowhere. So if more people get involved in doing business, automatically more businesses equals more jobs. But the idea of just waiting for somebody to give you something, that doesn't really work. And that doesn't fly with me either. If you really want something, go and get it. No one's going to stop you from just going to get it. There's nothing holding you back besides your own limitations and your capacity.
And then what are some of the most important characteristics that you think young people should have to be more innovative and to be more creative?
I've been with Loop technically 2 years. And in the first more than a year, I wasn't earning a salary from Loop. And me and Imtiaz Riley, who's my business partner with Loop, the CEO of Loop, we didn't earn anything because we understood the vision. We understood why are we doing this? Why are we solving this problem? But we also understood what's the earning potential for us to solve this problem. That kept us going because we knew this is going to work. Because I did the research, we did the work, we piloted, we tested, and it worked. And that kept us going to know this is going to be an actual sustainable business. And then we started getting more people on board and recruit more people. I think we probably might even be 14 staff now. So all of our staff is youth. And now we have a youth-run business that is profitable after 2 years because we understood what our vision is.
Coming up after the break, we visit the BRICS Plus Youth Innovation Summit, where a BRICS certificate, the first of its kind, encourages intra-BRICS youth entrepreneurship, and we look at where young people can go for funding.
Every white cross represents a farmer who has been murdered. Some call these the forgotten farm murders.
Het hulle die tydperk in sy rugge gedruk?
The Kruger National Park, an area of beauty, the custodian of most of Africa's rhino population, a park of breathtaking nature, but also an area of horror.
I would assume the smallest would be probably us, South Africa.
The smallest one is South Africa.
Smallest economy is South Africa, although we are kind of on board because of our large gold reserve.
The smallest economy in BRICS is South Africa. Yeah.
So the smallest economy in BRICS is South Africa.
The smallest economy in BRICS is South Africa, my country.
The smallest economy is South Africa.
The smallest economy is definitely South Africa, yes.
The smallest economy is South Africa.
Will be South Africa. It has to be South Africa. We might have the highest employment rate between the countries, and the state of living is low. South Africa.
The smallest economy, that is South Africa.
The smallest economy in BRICS is South Africa.
The smallest economy will have to be South Africa.
So the one that has the smallest economy would be South Africa.
From the BRICS countries, South Africa's got the smallest economy.
The recent BRICS Plus Youth Innovation Summit, held in South Africa on May 15, brought together young change makers and connected them to organizations interested in investing in their ideas. Raymond Ntlala, founder and president of South African BRICS Youth Association, shares the future plans of the BRICS Plus Youth Summit in assisting young people to kickstart their own businesses.
We're going to be doing a number of visits to China, taking young entrepreneurs to learn about some of the innovations and their systemic approach to economy. One of the programs that came out of many of our events is the BRICS Skills Plus certificate, which will be offered with 3 universities in South Africa. The second one is around the BRICS Youth Young Innovators and Young Entrepreneurs Forum, where we bring in businesses and innovators as well as investors in one room. Since the West have pulled out of Russia, how do we then implement a youth business-driven concept within the Russian economy? And we in discussions with our Russian counterparts with that. The certificate will be an accredited certificate, a short learning program with the university, so it enables the holder not only knowledge, but this is the first on its kind since the inception of the association 15 years ago, that you have a qualification that is BRICS related, but it also enables the holder that they are able to even apply for jobs that are related to BRICS, because that certificate holds a knowledge base of BRICS as a whole. We would like to see some of our youth going to these member states, the UAE, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Egypt, and the old member states, to study some of the concepts where they are quite good with. I mean, you look at Brazil, very good with healthcare, energy, as well as agriculture. And for us is that how do we come around knowledge transfer for those in a small scale and working towards a large scale?
Gusheshe Fuels is an E85 ethanol distribution company. So there was a gap in the market where obviously we need to transition away from fossil fuels. The sugarcane industry in South Africa is under tremendous pressure right now with some of the biggest companies under administration, and it's a disaster. So we want to preserve those agricultural jobs. We want to give back to the people of South Africa, because E85 ethanol, if you look at Brazil and the United States and all these other countries that have it implemented, in Brazil 90% of the vehicles run on E85 ethanol. It's fully sustainable, ultra low emissions biofuel. We've finalized our specification on the fuel. We'll be importing from Brazil initially, which is great trade between South Africa and Brazil, BRICS. And then beyond that, skills coming from BRICS, from Brazil, because of the plant, the manufacturing plant, the engineers, all of that expertise will come from Brazil. And then obviously equipment from India and China and that sort of thing. And we'll see about the rest. But we'll implement local production eventually, local production facility, and that will further bring down the cost of the fuel. So we might see, fuel prices going back to the mid-teens again. Who would love, I'm sure everybody would love fuel at 14 or 15 Rand a litre again, when the price of fuel is about 25 Rand a litre.
So what we do is we make it convenient for people who are looking for photographers and videographers to be connected to professionals in this space without the hassle of looking for, several social media handles, looking for different prices, looking for people within the area. All of it is available on bratula.com. BRICS has helped a lot because it's really, forced me to refine a lot of my presentations. It allows me to get feedback from relevant stakeholders. It helps in terms of networking, where I get a lot of feedback as well, and potential opportunities for funding.
Basically, NConnect is a company or innovative edtech company that enables students to write online examinations without using internet connectivity. So it's a groundbreaking innovation. Basically, what we're looking for, the vision that actually feeds into this, is we want to tap the markets that actually suffer from internet connectivity to ensure that even when there's no internet connectivity, students are able to write their online examinations. So I think BRICS actually is the perfect opportunity for us to help us or assist us actually to tapping into that market here.
BRICS Global Television Network, in collaboration with Newshound Academy and Moscow State Institute of International Relations, offers a truly unique student fellowship program as part of the BRICS Plus Exchange Initiative. This isn't just about hitting the books. It's an immersive adventure. Students dive into the rich cultural and political landscapes of various nations, which includes engaging in spirited debates, exploring iconic landmarks, and building friendships that cross continents. These fellowships provide students with invaluable international experience, expanding their horizons and deepening their global understanding. Ultimately, this initiative strengthens the bonds among BRICS countries, paving the way for a future of collaboration and mutual respect. In our most recent fellowship, Russian students gathered in Johannesburg, South Africa, for an enriching week-long cultural experience. They explored famous landmarks in Gauteng, participated in discussion forums with fellow South African students, gained hands-on media experience, and embarked on an unforgettable African safari.
We're here to explore new opportunities, new ways of creating new multipolar world order. We're here to find new friends, to create a dialogue between nations, between BRICS nations, to create solid bridges between our cultures, between our economies, between our nations as well.
I really look forward to having more exchanges or student exchanges of this nature, because it helps to open up our horizon in terms of getting a better understanding of how students experience the higher education environment, and of course the domestic culture as well. So really look forward to strengthening more relations in this space. So we're very, very excited about it.
Do you feel like you are ready for the working world? Do you feel like you've had enough practice for the working world? Because I think as students, or you always wonder when you get to that space, are you going to be fine? Are you ready? And because of these challenges, most of the time or half the time, you feel like you're not.
Our country just has a very rich culture, history, and all this stuff.
It will represent our national identity and what constitutes as a national identity. So you said I was conducting research for an article that I'm writing, which is national identity. One of the most important things for national identity is language. So we need to make sure what Pinella said, that language plays a crucial role in representation.
Russia is huge, we all know that. We have more than 100 cultures, separate cultures, which one of them are Asian, one of them are European, one of them are Muslim, closer to Turkey actually.
We actually saw a lot of new things I personally haven't seen before. For example, it's my first time was on a safari. It was a good experience, that's all I can say.
For me it was amazing because I have never been in South Africa, even in the African continent, so we saw wild nature. It was amazing, it was fascinating, so colorful, and I think I got so many emotions for the whole life.
This was the dream to get here. It has been the dream that I've realized. I've been dreaming of safari since I was a little child, and I love your country. It's amazing, it's marvelous. I hope every guy from my country, from Russia, visits this. It's awesome. Thank you.
На самом деле очень нравится в вашей стране, замечательно, правда, искренне. Сейчас зима, у нас это очень хорошая осень, вот. Счастлив, что здесь нахожусь на самом деле, вот, со своими товарищами, братьями по дипломатическому оружию, так сказать, вот. Ну, в общем, всем добра, позитива, успеха. From Russia with love, как говорится.
The fellowship program will continue to grow stronger, offering students valuable opportunities for personal development and fostering international cohesion.
Thank you so much for joining me, Margaret. How is the South African BRICS Youth Association planning on being the leading voice of the youth?
So, as you know, BRICS has 3 pillars, which are namely political and security, which is involved in enhancing regional as well as global security in the global space, as well as economic and financial, which is involved in promoting economic growth as well as development for mutual prosperity. And the last one is cultural and people-to-people exchanges. So we ensure that in everything that is happening in the BRICS Plus space, we try to entrench young people in the different spaces. So we strive to be the leading voice of the youth within BRICS Plus and advocate for their interests as well as their rights in the decision-making processes in these pillars across various structures.
The growing availability of organizations that make it easier for us young people to develop our entrepreneurial mindset is creating a generation that is learning to rely on itself. Our ability to recognize our skills and put them to good use leads to economic growth and opportunities. Well, that's it for now. Don't forget to connect with all of us here at Young Buzz on our social media platforms and at BRICS Global Television Network. I'm Yolanda Pondo, and until next week, goodbye for now. We're at Rosina Sedibani Modiba School at the Netball Girls Trials. The netball courts are of high standard and quality, which is how we are here at Winnie Mandela Secondary School in Tembisa, Johannesburg. With all factors considered, young girls who fall pregnant risk their chances of survival. Teenage pregnancy in Kenya has been decreasing as more and more teenagers receive education.